Hello and welcome. So last week we made a video entitled "Do you think the bond notes will work?" And in that video we went through a number of contributions, and we have received a few comments, and I just wanted to go through those comments. So the first comment, and I'm not going to say the names, but the first comment says, "Trust is the biggest issue the government is facing with the introduction of the bond notes. No matter how romantic we get with how the bond notes should work, the implementers are not crisis or change managers with the correct reputation. The next few weeks will be very interesting." Okay, so that's a comment there from one of the people that viewed this video. The next comment: "This was an informative discussion and very enlightening. I would have loved, however, if you had someone currently living in Zimbabwe as part of your panel." So actually we do welcome input from Zimbabwe. We do have participants in Zimbabwe, but the problem is that there is poor connectivity and most of them cannot are not able to take part. But I'm sure in one of the upcoming videos, we're going to have some inputs from the motherland. Let the bond note come and we move on. If it works, great. If it does not, we look for further options. Okay, this guy is really, he knows that the bond notes are going to be implemented anyway, so he's just saying bring it on. If it works, we move on. If it doesn't, we still move on and we look for other options. The next comment: greetings, may I throw some light on the US dollar? The US dollar is not a bond note. It is a fiat dollar, not a contract to buy back from the holder. Why? Because it is no longer gold backed. It really has no value. We just print and keep up the appearance of solidity of our own currency. Politrick stars. Did you know just recently China refused to buy US goods because its currency is fiat? You will notice that's how China's currency is gold. You will notice that now China's currency is gold backed. Would you want to trade your currency for something whose value is make believe? You're right, dear brother. America is in debt. There's been no recent audit of our so-called gold. Where is our gold? And currency not based on gold should not be trusted. There are people that are betting on your bond currency to be introduced because they hold old Zims for the black market. They are sold all over eBay, and I think you're right to say that they are sold all over eBay. I've actually seen them myself. There were 5 replies to this one. Let's see. Zimpreneur says, we agree the US dollar is a fiat currency, but from where does it derive its value? Every country on earth needs the US dollar to buy crude oil. So the US dollar is used or is printed as petrol dollars. Everyone needs oil, and you can only buy crude oil in US dollars. The barrels are charged in US dollars, so everyone needs US dollars to buy the crude oil. That's where the fiat currency is getting its value from. Zimpreneurs TV. US dollar at one time was gold-backed currency. It is no more. Its value is only in the perception of its value. There is a new US bond coming that is gold-backed, so at some point what is floating around as US currency will not be spendable. I apologize for the cough. Got a bit of a cold today. Okay. Another comment: they realized they could not print more than the value of the gold reserves. Oh, that was Zimpreneurs. Hence, making the US dollars the only currency that can buy crude oil. It derives its value from the fact that the whole world needs oil. As for the gold, the amount of mined gold to date feels less than 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. With oil, they can manipulate production and print to meet demand. So you see there's a difference. If you back your currency with gold, you can only print so much, okay? And when you run out, you can't print more than the gold reserves. But you can manipulate the demand for oil, for crude oil, okay? And you can print the required American petrodollars to meet that artificial demand, okay? Zimpreneurs TV. Things are changing. China is making great strides to take their place as an economic giant. Their currency is now the new reserve currency. It is gold-backed, the yuan. Also, China, are exporting oil from the Middle East, cutting into the value of this petrodollar. Also, China has convinced Brazil to cut their usage of the US currency by half by promising other trade agreements with them. China now, which is now the world's reserve currency, doesn't it make sense to tie your bond to it? So you're suggesting that instead of pegging the new Zimbabwe bond note to the US dollar, why not peg it to the Chinese yuan renminbi? The US at some near time in the near future will have to revalue our currency to a gold standard again. China does not want our currency, so we will revalue to stay competitive. Okay. Next comment. Bond coins have worked because their value is relatively negligible. I'll not mind getting 50 cents as change. Average salary for Zimbabwean is $300 plus or minus. With the coming of bond notes, I won't be surprised if one gets this whole salary in bond notes, and that's when the problem starts. Okay. In short, that's the next comment. In short, the one in specs does not really know how money works. He did not mention the productive element and exporting element required to sustain an economy, that being the basis of how money is made and determined. The Zimbabwean government right now is only on chewing money, which they are not generating. There is no economy to talk about right now. Who will pay tax? No jobs, hence income by far exceeds expenditure. So to make up for that, they are trying to print fictitious money in exchange for real money. To answer the question of why people are saying bond note works in Zim only, a question one analyst asked the significance of that. Many people are now relying on importing goods for sale, and they will not have access to the US dollar. Dollar will be heavily regulated, like what is you want to import, then no. Tinacho muno. So you cannot get it from the banks. In the end, people will start sourcing it from the black market. Then the turmoil starts. Next comment. Bond notes will only work without a corrupt government. Next comment. Debt doesn't work the same way it does as government level. If you're thinking about the superpowers, Great Britain, China, United States of America, the European Union. Next comment. But kashoma kuona munhu achienda kunze kwenyika nayi $2 saka mabond notes toashandisa muZimbabwe kachete, kana toda kuenda kunze wenda kane 10 USD upward. Thank you very much. Next one. Mr. Simon. Where do the supermarkets or the few manufacturers, bakers in, that is, they all use semi-finished goods, get their stock, raw materials, and have you ever tried to think of how they will get the US dollar and what will happen when they are all in need for it? Anyway, try to revise your economics a bit and just focus on the theory of demand and supply. Okay, that's some advice for Simon. I'm sure he's going to respond. If the people take the hype on the value, when are we going to see a challenge? There are no such people as unscrupulous people on business. People who see opportunity and take it. People have to calm down and make sure that they don't panic. True, nothing is happening in isolation. I love what Simon says because it makes sense. This is about government, and in the past, the failure was caused by government. Money in private hands will eventually find itself in the market. The bond is a transition into a local currency. At some point, the bond will devalue, and if well managed, we will see stabilization. Take the example of Somaliland. Its currency is so devalued but it works like magic, and it all points to the point that if government plays its role, the bond notes will work very well. Making the bond stronger would make our labor very expensive. It is time the country devalues its labor costs so as to bring us down to par with others in the region, I suppose. Yes, in the region. Thank you for that comment. Next comment. The subject of modern money mechanics is not thoroughly understood here. If it was, then we would not waste our time discussing or debating on the subject of worthless bits of paper and focus on the real world human and mineral resources. When is your next discussion? And I will introduce a different perspective. Okay, I think we're going to let you know when the next discussion is going to be. Okay, that one seems to be a repeat unless there is something. Yeah, I think it's a repeat, that one. So move to the next one. Next comment. Nonsense. That's it. Next comment. J. That's it. Next comment. Pakaipa, not being rude, guys. Pamuna kuzenge mataura fundo dzenyu ka. And we responded, all in due course. We have a rich mix of expertise. Right. Yes, it will work. Watch. And the last comment. If the supply of bond notes, is strictly limited to 200 million, bond notes will definitely work. The worst case scenario is that they will circulate among parastatals, ZESA, ZIMRA, ZINARA, and all other government entities which accept cash in their daily operation. Okay, those are all the comments we've got so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video in which some of the people mentioned in these comments can respond. I don't want to put words into their mouth or respond for them, but I know that they are quite happy to answer those questions or to comment on the suggestions or the comments made. So again, what I'm going to do then is put the link to this video in the notes when I upload this particular one onto YouTube. So thank you very much. My name is Derek, part of the Zimpreneurs team. Ask Zimpreneurs, hashtag Ask Zimpreneurs. I will see you in the next video.